Mhm. Mhm. Hey, YouTube. How y'all doing today? I stole that little verse from Fred Hammond. I think I'm going to keep it. How y'all doing today? I can't think of what song he let off with that, though. Hello, Princess A. My number one, usually. All right, so we're on here. So these are troubling times, people. And I know I did not set out to try to be nobody's newscaster or nobody's journalist, but there's so many things going on right now on this race issue. Now, I am a person, I've never considered myself to be a very racial type person. I mean, I never look for race in everything, right? But it's so blatant and so in our face right now that we can't ignore it. So there have been 2 black men found hung in California. So we're going to focus on those 2. I know that someone told me yesterday there are a total of 7 around the country. No one they've not caught any of these lynchings yet, but apparently they're all under investigation. So there's one guy, Robert Fuller, 24 years old, from Palmdale, California. Palmdale's a pretty nice area. The other one is Malcolm Harsh in San Bernardino, right? So people are saying that they don't think that this Robert Fuller was suicidal, the people close to him. So they've called in the FBI now to investigate this as a hate crime. Now, you can imagine that these cities are going to be trying to do everything they can to not call these lynchings, because you can imagine the explosion in these towns if it's discovered that these people have been lynched, right? So we have to keep that in mind. Both of the police departments said they're in investigation by both their local departments and the FBI. The other guy, Malcolm Harsh in San Bernardino, was found near a homeless encampment. Now, this is a street person, or a streetwise person, certainly, because he's got tats all over his face and so forth. Maybe. He's got tats all over his face and so forth. He looks like a different type of person than Robert Fuller. Maybe a little older, but yeah, near a homeless encampment. Now, you would think that they should have some answers by now, because if he's near a homeless encampment, that means that there are witnesses there, people who know what happened. And if people are down on their luck, they're more likely to talk. If they get caught with some drugs on them or anything on them, somebody saw something. If he was hung himself, or somebody else, it was a ruckus, or there was a group of people, somebody saw something, right? But still no answers from that case either. They were 10 days apart and 50 miles apart. Now, we all know that this is an unusual way for a black person to kill themselves. We just haven't seen a lot of this. Okay, let me say hello to you guys. Nathan Casco, yeah, you kind of hit me to this. I believe they're being done by the police. I won't believe otherwise until the lynchers are caught and are not. I think that if this guy was hung by a homeless encampment, somebody would have saw something, whether there was random people coming in there and did that, or if they were cops. Somebody would have saw something by now. I mean, when it happened. So I don't know that there's much story. I couldn't find much update on the situations. Okay, hello. Hey, Teresa Hopkins, Bella, Miss Thang. Hello, Miss Thang. I know a few Miss Thangs, so maybe I know you. Hello, Nathan. Prima Wanda. Hey, Nikki. Eating and listening. All right. Yeah. So why aren't there any answers? Maybe this first guy, Robert Fuller, was hung in an area where people wouldn't have seen him doing that, or someone else doing that to him wouldn't have noticed a ruckus or a fight or a scuffle. Maybe that could have happened. But they have to discover if these people were even really hung. Were they killed and then hung? Were they already dead? I mean, there's so much stuff they can find out. But I'll be very leery if they want to announce that they have actually discovered these were murders. Right? You see what we're going through with George Floyd, with one person being killed. So you can imagine what could happen in these towns. But we'll just keep our eyes and ears open. Other situation was, I'm not no NASCAR fan or anything like that, but apparently there was a NASCAR driver. His name is Bubba Wallace. Apparently there's only one black NASCAR driver at the top of the ranks, right? His name is Bubba Wallace. Now, I guess a lot of these car, where the fans of these car people, a lot of them used those Confederate flags, and then he stood up against the Confederate flags, time to take them down and not allow them in the NASCAR at all. They already have rules and regulations about these flags on your car. You can't put them on your car, and you can't do certain things inside the arenas. But now he pushed to have them banned completely because they're racist. How are black people going to enjoy that sport if they sit around surrounded by racists, people who they know hate them? So he's doing his part to try to integrate these people or hip them to the fact that this is offensive, these flags. What got me about this thing, okay, so let me finish the story. So he has a garage where he keeps his car, right? Nobody's allowed in that part except for the drivers or people who work, the mechanics who work on these cars. They found a noose hanging in his garage, right? Now, this turned out to be kind of put a smile on my face because it was almost like one of, you know how you on the movies, at the end of a lot of movies, these tearjerkers, and at the end, the hero, people end up clapping, a few people clapping, then a big crowd starts clapping, and then everybody starts clapping in support of this, whatever it is in these movies. That's what it was like. All of the other drivers, it was like a parade when he pushed his car onto the, whatever we called it, road or whatever. They all joined in support of this man. I like that because we're not alone in this. A lot of people are fighting these fights about flags, about statues and so forth. Anyway, what kills me about this situation is you have a president, Donald Trump, 2 days ago. First thing he said out of his mouth, they're trying to take down our flags. We won't allow it. They're trying to take down our statues, our history. We won't allow it. He is on the opposite side. This is the leader of the free world, Trump. He is on the side of the people who want to be racist. He wants to continue to fly the Confederate flag, even though they lost. He's made such a big deal out of Kaepernick kneeling in protest of the American flag. Oh, we got to protect our flag. Make up your mind, Trump. Either the Confederate flag is the American flag or the American flag is the American flag. You are the president of the United States. But no, like I told you guys, he's going to try to turn it all racial. Every opportunity he gets. That's how he figures he'll win. Turning us against them, them against us. Oh. He called it our flag, our history. What are you holding on to? What are you holding on to, Trump? Those people fought against America. We became one nation. You're the president. You should be required to try to bring the people together. You are the opposite of what a president should be. You should be on the fringes, honey. Like, what's those people, Breitbart or whatever them damn people are? That's probably where you get most of your news from, Trump. You expect leadership out of these damn people. And this dude is acting like one of the thugs. He wants to correct the Confederate flag flown, and he wants to make sure that these statues, all these Confederate generals, are still in place. That's his position. The whole country seems to be moving in one direction. Everybody but Trump. He's pulling them back. He likes it, the division, because Trump is a racist. We all know that. It's so obvious. So now he's going to bring what's he going to be in Oklahoma or some damn where tomorrow? You claim to love these people. Why are you trying to kill them, Trump? That damn thing was a disgrace on Saturday. Nobody had a mask on. I counted 5 masks in that whole damn sea of people. We were Trump. How in the hell is that proving anything? Because you don't wear a mask in this damn crowd of only 6,000 people. It's supposed to be 19,000, and so many outside that you got to have stadiums outside. And then to his humiliation, they had to tear the stadiums down while he was talking. 6,000 people. You exposed them to this damn virus. And he don't take it seriously. And that's supposed to lead. He's supposed to lead us. Everybody telling us that we have to stay in. That this country has to reopen slowly. What did he say? Come on out. We got to reopen and everything's fine. They're exaggerating. It's fake news. A complete idiot. And he has idiots following him. Strange thing is, the people, seems to me, the people who he helped the most, which would be these wealthy billionaires and stuff, they never go out to publicly acknowledge him. It's always the low end. They think they're somehow tied to Trump because they have the same color of skin. Very low intelligence people. And the people are trying so hard to help each other, to march together. They have all these protests. They've all been baby, hey, get it bum here. There you go. You'll be cool. Yeah. Baby, why you knock my chain of thought? You see all these people, all these crowds, they're mixed with every kind of person in the United States protesting police violence against black people. Black Lives Matter. It's huge. But it ain't us alone, honey. Some towns, they're all white people. And then along comes Trump, the divider in chief. Oh. This is going to be quite a year, because as this election gets closer and closer, he's going to be doing more and more stunts to divide us. Watch. Pay attention, people. Pay attention. This is exactly what I thought he would do. He's going to try to divide us by race. Any and all progress. He wants to make America white again. That's what he ran on, right? Come here, sweetheart. Get your bum over here. And stop all that barking. Get your bum over here. Get it, bum over here. Ding, ding, ding. Get him. Stay right there. Kidnapping people like... I mean, what do you guys think? Either of these guys suicidal? I don't know. I mean, the other guy looked like he was a banger or something. He got writing all over his head and all this kind of stuff. It just doesn't seem like this kind of guys commit suicide. I mean, maybe it happens all the time and we don't know about it. It's a big coincidence, just 10 days apart, both in California. And apparently 5 other people around the world, around the United States. They killed his brother a couple of days ago. What do you mean? Who is this? Somebody got killed? Uh-huh. Let me see. Mm-hmm. Nathan Casco says, I believe they're being done by the police. Would cops take a chance though and hang on somebody? Certainly not by the homeless encampment, because those people are homeless. They have nowhere to go, so somebody's always there. You would think there would be witnesses. We better pay attention to see if anybody else comes up dead around in that area. Would you believe it could be the police? I believe otherwise until the are caught or not to be law enforcement. I guess it could be law enforcement out of uniform, perhaps. I don't know. There are a lot of other races besides cops. This other boy looks like a college kid. This Robert Fuller. He's only 24 years old. Lynching still happen. This world. You got to tear yourself away from the news, man. That's a him, Bakar. The dog said you're supposed to pay attention to her, not us. No, his issue, his emotional difficulty is that every time somebody passes in the hallway, he has to acknowledge that he hears them. The dog, they called Lhasa Apso, right? So they were bred in Tibet, and their job in Tibet was to guard the castles and the monasteries, right? So their job was to alert the lions if anybody was on the property. This is what they used them for. I don't know how they tell you they're bred for this, but this is what that particular breed was used for. Like this dog, if he knows who you are, no response at all. He'll be very nice and sweet to you. But if he has never seen you before, he barks at everybody on the street. That's their legend, honey. But that's their history. So I guess the lions will come and deal with you after you've been identified as a trespasser. I am just me. I too believe it's law enforcement out of uniform, especially with all this defunding talk. I wish white people and cops would understand no one wants them gone. We just want them to stop killing us. Well, absolutely. But I don't know how that would help the cops, though, by people showing up dead. I don't know. You know, when they used to break up all them Klan rallies and things, they would have law enforcement in the crowds. But I don't know how they would benefit, though, by hanging people. And it didn't have to be all or none either. I mean, they say there's 7 people. Maybe a couple of them did actually commit suicide, and then a couple of them, something else happened to them. Hopefully we can trust the FBI to tell us the truth. Right? I just don't remember a whole lot of black people hanging themselves. I just haven't seen that, especially in public places. Anybody know the other states where this is going on? Of the southern states? But see, Trump just ramps this shit up. He's the last person we need in charge of anything, honey. He was already started with his first rally. Embarrassing rally. 6,000 people. Pitiful. Pitiful. The thing hosts 19,000 people. You know, whatever he's trying to say, it was mumbled because he kept watching them damn empty seats. But some delusional people would not even see the empty seats. They just said, oh, the crowd was outrageous. Oh, it was full. Believe me, if we didn't have cameras on everything, he would deny that the damn thing was empty. Like people can go in there and fall on their sword and kill themselves to see you, Trump. What the hell are you doing? Are you passing out cars? Yeah, I like the way this hair feels. I was just thinking, you know what? Who said that? La Sparkle. I've been getting haircuts my whole life, right? You know what I just realized? I do not own a comb. I said, let me go comb this stuff. I might keep it. I don't own a comb. I've just been brushing it and keeping it short for my whole life. So I kind of like it. It's gray, but I mean, I am what I am. We'll see. I just like the way it feels, though. It feels thick. I used to be so jealous in high school because then, back in the 70s, people were having big afros. Afros was the look, right? Afros and perms and all this kind of stuff. I can never have anything. I just had that. And then in the late 70s, 80s, everybody started cutting it short, right? So it wasn't such a big deal. But when I was young, it was a big deal to be bald-headed. I don't know, a lot of black people grow long hair. I mean, these guys with all these braids and dreads. I know all that. How's it going? We're hanging in there, Connor. I love that place was not full. I just love it. And that's after he told everybody from the outside to go inside to fill the seats up. Make it look full. Fucking idiot. Why would you want to kill those people? Why are they all in there when nobody can bother even put a mask on? But what's the harm in putting a mask on? I mean, how uncomfortable are they? They were passing them out at the door. Nobody put it on. Why? Because their leader didn't put them on. That's what leadership is. He's supposed to be an example. He's supposed to come every time we see him. He's supposed to have a mask on his face. That would tell the world, the rest of the United States, that we should be wearing masks. Oh no, I won't wear one. My people, they don't wear one. You know, nobody on the stage is wearing one. In support, we won't wear one either. We're going to just say that there is no such thing as this pandemic. It's fake news. Meanwhile, 120,000 people now dead. 120,000 people. That's a lot of people. 2 million cases of coronavirus. Afro, Bright Star. It's just insane that America put that person in office. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. And every time one of these guys come out with a book, he always tries to stop them. Why? Because they're going to tell the truth. Trump, you're an idiot. And you're not suitable to be a president of anything. You don't even read the damn first thing he told him. I remember when he first got in office. Oh, I don't need these long briefings every day. Sum it up and give it to me once a week in one page or two. Whatever. Hey, he can't leave shit. Okay, I'm sorry to hear. Yeah, there have been black people who commit suicide. I mean, there have been all kinds of people who commit suicide. Unfortunately, a lot of teenagers have done that. It just seems strange that in this aura, in this time, that there'd be 10 days apart and just a few miles away from each other. So theoretically, if it's only 50 miles apart, right? So it could be the same person if something else did happen to these people. And there have been people who have targeted homeless people. There have been homeless people jumped on sleeping outside. That's why they like to sleep in public. So we don't know what the situation is with Malcolm Harsh. But it seems to me that somebody was there, and drug addicts are up all night long. Right? So more than likely, you're going to get information from somebody else about what happened there. Because if you're in an encampment, it's like a little village, a little man-made little village of, usually it's 10, 15 people, whatever. They would have heard if something was going on there, right? And they would know a lot more about this guy, Malcolm, if he hung out with them. Yeah, federal law, I think, is if it's a hate crime. If you're lynched, that is certainly a hate crime. Hi, Nicole Reloaded. Thank you for helping out. That is strange what the books are going to read. Oh, please. I hope not, Mo. All we can do. I mean, it's a horrifying thought. I mean, why would that man even? It's just such a narcissist. Why would you want to put us through? I used to ask my lover when he was cheating on me all the time. Why are you doing this to me? I mean, it seems like if you cared anything about me, you would not want to see me in this state all the time. Right? Why don't he just step down for the sake of the country that he claims to love? He want to make it, great again. Back in the 50s, he wanted us all to be shoeshine boys. That was his big plan, I believe. He was going to get rid of all the Mexican people, so then all the black people can go and pick oranges. That'd be their job. There he goes. Shut up. Watch out there. Squeenie, come here. Hey, Squeenie. Oh, he wasn't through. How long does it take somebody to pass by a door? Shut up. I gotta close my other door. Don't be looking at my ass. Don't be looking at my ass. Not for sale. You shut up. Okay, so he's back. Now he's going to be in Oklahoma tomorrow. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people depressed also with the situation with being locked down this long, 3 months. I mean, some people, I mean, they weren't rich people from the beginning. So, I mean, how long can you make $1,200 stretch out if you're paying rent somewhere? So a lot of people are depressed. A lot of people have lost their jobs. I mean, if they were already on the edge, you know, some people suffer from serious, real depression. This thing could push them over the edge. And plus all this race stuff and all this. I'm sure a lot of people who have committed suicide, they're just not telling us about it because it's not news. It's not newsworthy. I hope not. Don't have enough black therapists. Mm-hmm. Nice screen. What's today? Oh yeah. Okay. I thought I forgot my group I'm supposed to have tomorrow. I'm okay with building some statues. Is Trump okay with building some Hitler statues, Bin Laden statues, Saddam statues, putting them all over the U.S.? I mean, they did lose. We won. That's right. He admires those kind of people. He always saying strong. He said, Putin said strongly. He said strongly that he didn't have anything to do with the election. How the hell you say something strongly? He just lied. She was real strong when he said it. An idiot. Long Island today. Okay, so another case. A black man was found hanging from a tree on Long Island today. Thanks, Amber Pace. So I guess is that number 8? If he was found today, then he wasn't part of that 7. Are these people trying to make political statements? I think there are other ways to make a statement other than killing yourself. I ain't thinking about Sweeney. He's at peace now. He's at peace until, because I have the window open. So if somebody come by here with a skateboard, he goes insane. It's funny to watch sometimes. And then sometimes it scares the people that when a skateboard or skate whatever by him, and they go right as they're going past him, he goes insane. He starts flipping all around. Ah! Like he wants to bite their ankles. But many of those react that way to skateboarders for some reason. Something about the ball bearings. What happened? Z. Roberts, what about the 100 people shot in Chicago? 14 people dead. Where is the Black Lives Matter? You mean just in the regular course of Chicago living? You know, they have those kind of numbers year round. So I don't know what the situation is. I mean, are murders down in Chicago now? Remember, that was a big problem. They calling the Chirac and all that. Black on black crime and all that kind of stuff. I haven't heard anything about it, but I don't live in Chicago. So maybe people are distracted by doing something good in protest. Maybe they're distracted and it's not happening as much. Let's hope. Some are trying to start a race war. Well, that's what that would account. If somebody's actually lynching somebody, that's what would be their goal. They would want to cause havoc. Race war. That's what Charles Manson wanted. He thought he could kill a few people in Hollywood. Why my nose so itchy? kill a few people in Hollywood, and then start a race war. That was his goal. I'm proud of those people, Black Lives Matter and movement. They started something. And all around my neighborhood, I live in a pretty good neighborhood. I mean, I'm not rich, but there's a lot of these people, they've got Black Lives Matter all in their windows. The houses and the apartments and condos and all that. You'll see Black Lives Matter signs all over West Hollywood. That part of it is a beautiful thing. BLM, what is it? Has to matter. Black Lives Matter. Has to matter to blacks too. Yeah. This year is going to be one for the books, ain't it? One full of disease, protests. Well, thank God it looks like the riots have stopped, though. Unless I'm missing something. People have stopped rioting. Good thing Charles Manson is finally dead. Yeah, he is. He's gone on, honey. Oh, the weekend. Oh, no. Okay, Nicole Reloaded. It was the most violent weekend in Chicago's modern history. Stretching police resources that were already thin because of protests and looting. Chicago had, that number that the person was using up there, that's a real thing? 18 murders and 18 murders in 24 hours inside the most violent day in 60 years in Chicago. Oh my God. So they're saying this is a real thing that's going on right now. Oh, I didn't know that. Boy, you got to just stay glued to the television to just stay in touch with all the shit that goes on now. So Chicago's having one of their worst. Is it in the day or the weekend? The worst weekend in 60 years. They've already had so many problems there in the city. Hopefully black people are not killing other black people. I don't want them to kill anybody. I mean, that's the dumb thing to say. I'm sorry I said that. Hopefully these are not just in the hood where people are killing each other. 2021 will only be better if Trump is gone. I had no idea about Chicago going through that, though. Jesus. Awesome teens. I don't know why people can't express that. Speech. Yeah, I thought things were starting to calm down, but apparently not in Chicago. 18 murders in 24 hours. Chicago's always struggled with violent crime since as long as I've been alive. This is the last thing they need. All right, surfing. You don't believe it? Guess we got to research and check it out. Not this. Chicago is your Trinity love. Be careful. Yep. Shy. Should be shy teens' lives matter. A lot of these are young people. People even had a lot of the deaths, these are teenagers. Historically. New York City is just as bad. So they're still in protest. They've been protesting since the very beginning. Are the people still looting and all that? Oh, Chicago. Ask a classy black man. Okay, let's see what you got, Wisdom. Older black men are to blame. You guys wanted woman to always be first and held down any man that wanted to show his sons fight back. Oh, that's heavy there. People don't think people are dumb or anything because they're when they write things on here. A lot of these people are on their phones, so that's why a lot of misspelling, typos, and things like that. So I'm not sure exactly what you're saying there, classy brother. Yeah, we've got issues. Father's Day always reminds me of all the issues black people have. Some people don't want to deny. Oh, we all got fathers and all. You know, it's a damn lie, honey. What is it? 3/4 of us were raised without fathers. We got baby mamas, baby daddies, and all that kind of stuff. All this stuff stemming from slavery. They didn't have husband and wives. They weren't allowed to marry. So a lot of this stuff. And it is a tremendous responsibility to be a father and stay there for 30 years, right? It's expensive. So we don't have economic equality. A lot of times it comes down to you just can't afford to have no family and be responsible and be there. I mean, maybe that's not all of the answer, but I think it's a big part of it. You cost to be the boss. I think a lot of people are overwhelmed with the responsibility. Just my opinion. I ain't had no daddy. I had one asshole stepfather who terrorized my family for 8 years. But I wasn't the only one. You go to the projects, most of those people, they're mostly single parents. It's an issue we have to deal with. But I think being able to support a family contributes. These black women, they're strong, honey. They're strong. They hold it together. That's why we're here, many of us. People who are raised with their daddy at home, don't be terrorizing other people, other black people, because they weren't that fortunate. But many times, like in my case, having the man there was the worst thing that could possibly happen because he was a wife beater. So you want a good father there, not just somebody to be in the house. Because a lot of times if they're in the house, they can be a terror. And you will applaud when they leave. Hmm. 4 children got killed. I'm way behind. See, we wouldn't see that on here on local news. I mean, we would have to. When I get through with this, I'm gonna go to Chicago. I had no idea all this was going on in Chicago. You got to go and see. It's horrible. You were raised with 2 parents. Well, that's a blessing, honey. Be happy about that. If you love both of your parents, I can't tell you about how shaky some of these. Being a gay man my whole life, I've heard so many stories. A lot of times, those relationships are not great. The father and the gay son. A lot of times, they were terrible. So, if you got 2 loving parents who raised and supported you, you're a fortunate person. You're a fortunate person if you have 2 fathers that love you and took care of you, supported you. 2 mothers, just love songs as love and support in the house. Somebody pushing you forward. Somebody patting you on the back, honey. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Unfortunately, people on here on YouTube, everything is a battering ram, right? So if you have a parent, I was raised with 2 parents. It's always like something to brag about. You know, I'm better than you because of this. I'm better than you because of that. I'm better than you because you're still all black people. The whole community has issues. Other communities, they have their issues as well. White people got to deal with racism because it's so ingrained in them. A lot of them, it's so ingrained in them. I mean, that's a struggle right there. How do I not be so damn hateful? It's all I ever known. Oh, thank you. I got a super chat. Cat bus for ants. Cat bus for ants. That's an unusual name. Thank you, Cat bus. Not everywhere, Nikki. Let me see. Connor, you're 14 years old? So you're still being raised. All right. Be a nice teenager, Connor. You know how you guys can be. Every time I watch one of these movies and the teenager comes home and says, oh. Now speaking today. Yeah, it's good to see young people in here. I gotta watch my mouth. I'm doing a whole lot better with the cussing thing, though. I thought I had to cuss all the time. I don't. That ain't who you are, just what you're doing, honey. Reverse racism. People don't have a word for when black people hate white people. They say, oh, you just prejudiced. You can't call them a racist. They'll go get the dictionary. A racist, you got to have the upper hand. But some people are, I mean, we are superior athletes, whatever. It depends on what your view is. You can say, well, we're better athletes. Better some things. Some people better science, whatever. I never had a lot of that on me, though, that race thing. That's why I just don't like racist people. I don't like people who hate people for no reason. They're just not good people. But we can't wish the world to be right, and it's going to become right. Well, look at the color purple. Oh, you can't use that example. They try to pick at the color purple. Oh, it shows the black man in a bad reason. Child, please. Y'all know that story could very well be part of history. It's a fiction. Alice Walker, she based it in reality, stories she's heard through her life. But not every marriage is a good marriage, honey. Sometimes you need to go ahead and break up. But I think it's harder when you're broke and you're poor. You know, you want to do things for your family, you can't do it. You can't be there the way if you were in a better economic situation. And a lot of black women make more money than their husbands, and you got to accept it, honey. So we have to make our relationships work. A lot of times that happens, I've noticed. Thank you, Redbone. Yeah, you guys hit the like button. I'm going to have to be like Deanna Irving. Give me 4 more of them likes. I ain't going to say nothing until I get 30 more likes. What's wrong with the like button? She loves her likes. That amuses me for some reason. Get them likes up. And William McCray, get them damn likes up. That boy there. I guess Andrew Caldwell had a passionate little video on Father's Day talking about his lack thereof. I thought it was cute. I haven't watched Caldwell in maybe a year or so. But he actually made sense that he's maturing. He's becoming a man. I mean, I guess Andrew was pretty young when he started this. I ain't getting no more routine, but he was making sense about what it was like to be raised by only women and all that kind of stuff. He's not alone, honey. He is not alone. My mother did the best she could, you know, circumstances, honey. I thought he was in jail. Put his ass in jail. I don't know. He must be out. He was out walking yesterday with his beard. People ask, he said, why do people ask, why you walk like a woman? He said, he didn't have no father, but I didn't have no father either. I don't walk like a woman. It's just who he is. So he's still got a ways to come. At some point, we're probably going to get a speech from Andrew saying that he was wrong. He had it wrong. And maybe he's come to love himself. Could happen. William McCray is a scream. Sometimes it's a scream just to look at that dude because he's all his hair flowing all down. I mean, for the last few years, you know, he always says it's always real hair and all that kind of shit. Although the hairline keep changing, right? So now he puts his hat on and there's nothing under the hat. You can see the hat is flat. So there's no hair at all under there. So he's got to put all this shit on just to come and be William McCray. Ah, that dude. Oh, Andrew. That was a pretty good video that I watched a little bit of. Andrew. Talking about his lack of male influences. All I know is I was raised in the projects, right? And all the men did not become gay because they had no fathers. That's all I'll say it like that. That's all I'm saying. There might have been a couple out there here and there, but they didn't all turn gay, honey. Sorry, O'Connor Turk. What did O'Connor Turk say? Smash the light. Well, I guess he means that's good. But O'Connor Turk just told us that he's only 14 years old, Nathan. He said he's 14, so we got to have compassion. Is it designed for people of color to lower white people? Yeah. Well, I guess rich black people will be in a different position. Like, look, think of these athletes making $35 million a year. I'm sure they're the boss over whoever works in their house and so forth. They're bosses. They're black bosses. So I guess they can be a racist asshole. I mean, I know many people who just hate white people, you know, or they hate Asian people. They hate Latin people. Look at all this shit. That's what Trump ran on. He think all these people, they hate the Mexican people. They think you're taking their jobs and all that kind of stuff. Like you're going to go in there and pick fruit now. Anyway, people have their prejudice. We're not, it's not exclusive. We just have this exclusive history that is more horrific than most people in this country. Right? But Jews have they got a kind of a bad history as well. Maybe they weren't slaves. They were slaves in the Bible days, but they also went through what they went through in Germany. That was hard living. You're a doctor, throw you in a ditch. This country's always made it hard on immigrants, though. They always got to start at the bottom, honey. Even the Italians, they did most of the labor for a period there when they first came, when they were immigrants. Sir William goes from 0 to 100. Y'all not talking to me. Get them numbers up. That poor baby. He has been so dissatisfied with himself. I mean, he has this extreme look because he's done it to himself. He lost the weight. Everybody knows it's good to lose the weight. We all want to lose weight. I would love to lose at least 40 pounds. But when he lost the weight, his face, he had big features in his face because he was a big person. When you see just maybe 3 or 4 years ago, his face was rounder, but it looked like a normal person. Then he started changing the hair. Then he started doing the makeup. And then he did all this skin peels and all this stuff he's done because he hasn't been satisfied with how he looks. He feels like he has to have all this other stuff. You know, it's kind of a sad story. But Sir William is not really a nice person either. So we only talk about him a certain amount. Cornel West. You got to sit down and really pay attention when Cornel West is talking, though. He's a very respected educator, though. Absolutely. Heathen Central, be on that ass. Which one did he get taken down? Was that the usher board? He got one of them taken down, but I see Heathen Central is back posting again. That's a character. When he first went after Andrew, that was funny, that little period there. But I kind of lost interest shortly after that because he can be kind of a mean person. He looks like Lionel Richie. Not a compliment. Except Lionel Richie ain't got all this extra going, honey. He ain't got all this other shit. He got no big hat to cover the head. Then you got the fake hair come out, the big old hat. Everything is big, big old ties. And I mean, are we going to the carnival? Or are we going to church? I shouldn't be picking him. He ain't said nothing about me, so I should leave him alone. To guard Shavon and are getting sued for it. Wait a minute. Okay, Nappy Child. I'm gonna hear this. Said, did y'all see where correctional department didn't allow black COs to guard Shavon and are getting sued for it? No, I hadn't heard that story. I saw that one guy though, not Shavon, the other one, other cop, the one that's black or biracial. He was in a store or some kind of, and some woman with a camera phone started chasing him around and asking him how he has the nerve to go and buy bread or whatever, groceries, and give him a hard time. And he was so passive, submissive. I was kind of hard to watch. I thought it was kind of hard to watch, even though this man may very well go to jail for his part in George's death. He was one of the ones who had a knee on him. But they would follow them around, and then people started recognizing who he was. It's kind of hard to watch. There's a whole lot of shit that's hard to watch on this thing. Don't watch. But what else can we do? I mean, we got to stay in the house. They say you can't go no damn where. I would not be watching nearly this much news, or even talking about news this much, if I can go to the gym, if I can go to my volunteer gigs. I told them today I'm not coming back. I've been there for 15 years. Maybe I'll reapply there. It's just a coffee shop for people in recovery. But I said, I'm not letting nobody put me back out there for free. I don't feel safe, honey. And I'm 62 years old. Club Foods, he looked broken. It was a sad thing to watch. It was a sad thing to watch. And he's got to be, because that's how they're going to treat him in the neighborhoods. Where's he got to go get his groceries? Where's he got to, until this thing is it's going to be at least a year. They'll probably run him out of his neighborhood. The state probably requires him to stay here because, not here, but wherever he lives, because he's in this trial. So more than likely his bond won't allow him to leave the state. So he got to find somewhere to live in the state where people won't recognize him. And then his face is blown all over the world. Mostly Shavon, but that woman recognized him. She was really hard on him too. But people were mad. They're angry as hell, honey. So I guess he's got to expect it. I don't know if he owns a home or anything. We got to pack it up. Pack it up. Move to the hills, I guess. I don't know how that works. All three of them. Well, Shavon, he not getting out. They say his bail is over. What is it? $1.25 million. You're right. That's what I thought. Peace, love. I said, ain't there something? Now here's the one time in American history where you can actually go into the store with a mask on, covering your face, and nobody would recognize you. Nobody would recognize you. I see people on the street. I don't even recognize them. All this could have been covered. He could have got an extra one. All this could have been covered. No one would have recognized him. So hopefully he's learned his lesson and realized that when I go out, I need to have a mask on anyway, no matter where I'm going. And yeah, they said he was only on the job a week. That is shit. You barely getting he don't even know what's going on. And end up in that situation because of that asshole Shavon who was instructing them, this is how you treat people. He's supposed to be training them. I think him and the Asian cop were the seniors on the scene. Those people were just on the job for a week. So, bad, just bad all around. It's a horrible story. Yeah, maybe they're going to put those guys in witness protection or something. They could. That's when they have cops, they have you in houses, and they have people bring your food to you and all that kind of shit. And there's ways to get around it if he wants to stay in, because theoretically, we're all supposed to be staying in the house, right? So if he has to be hidden out and all this is a good time to do it. Because you can wear a mask when you're outside, and you're supposed to be staying in the house all the time. So you could just call the supermarket and have your food delivered, or call Whole Foods or something and have your food delivered. Just stay in the house. Apparently, he had just gotten out that same day. But he looked so defeated in that thing. Ugh. I mean, he's not even an aggressive person. All because of that fucking shit, Shavon. He was a black man. I think he's black. He looks black. He looks black or biracial. Slide the like button, please. Well, you won't be able to do it right now, Connor. You said, I'd like to get a job in high school to say, oh, you're not even in high school? Connor. To save up for a car. I want to open a business during that time. Wonderful youth. Just concentrate on your schoolwork, Connor. You guys are in class now? Or are you studying from home? They're trying to get the kids back in school. I don't know if that's the safest thing. Because some of these states are saying that the people who are getting it now, the primary people are in their 20s and 30s. So if they can be affected at 20s and 30s, they can be affected as teenagers as well, I would imagine. That's a great time to be alive, Connor. You got so much ahead of you. Getting your first car, you got a whole lot of excitement things in front of you. If I was only a child again, no one's ever been so good to me since then. People of the world. That was Curtis Mayfield. Only a child, and say it again. Nicole Reloaded. Superintendent Steve Lydon told internal investigators that he only had 10 minutes. Notice that Shavon was arriving at the jail, and he defended his actions as a move to protect and support. Huh? Okay, oh, you guys saw that thing with Steve in London. I didn't see it. He's supposed to be in protective custody anyway, but they're saying that they're not allowing black cops to guard him because they're racist. So that doesn't surprise me. They got to make sure that guy don't slip on a piece of soap, being found hung somewhere. But he'll be in protective custody probably the whole time he's in there. They just keep him in a separate section. It's like being in the hole where you never come out of your cell. That move with him not trusting black cops, though, that's I haven't heard of that before. They don't even trust themselves. Unless he's such a racist that he's requested that no black cops come in there. They said something rude to me or some shit. I don't know. In jail, you got to be real careful with these racial tensions, or you can set it off. It's going to be worse in prison. B in all classes. Bless that heart. That's right. School him, Sonia. Hello, Harlow Rain. Good to see you. Why are there white cops in our neighborhood? These age-old questions. I mean, there are black cops, but they're not. You're not equally. I think it's just something to be said about having black cops in black neighborhoods. There's something, but all black cops are not nice people either. Sometimes they're worse. They're trying to prove themselves that they are a real cop. Believe me, I've had a lot of experience with police. Don't expect that these black cops are necessarily going to treat you better. They ain't going to kill you. Don't expect them to treat you better, honey. I encountered a whole lot of black ones bad, white ones bad, all kind of. Never a Chinese bad. Thing is, they can't afford to be nice. They want you to be cops. Black cops not killing us. Yep, you're right. Black cops, at least they won't kill you. They might rough you up a little bit. Especially the short ones. What's with these short people? I remember every time I had a black cop that it was short, I said, oh, shit. The little man complex. They always had their chest all up and all. I don't understand. I don't understand cops, period, honey. That'd be the last job I want. Nope. Wouldn't be interesting to me. Short man's complex. They're like George Jefferson's, honey. It's a very real thing. It's a very real thing. Well, shake it then, Nicole. Nicole Reloaded. Well, wait a minute. What is going on here? Thank you, y'all. So sweet. I love y'all. It's tomorrow. I'm gonna get tipsy and shake my rump. Nicole, I thought you was a church lady. Well, I guess church ladies can shake their rump too. I'm scared to shake mine, honey. It might break it. Don't break it, baby. Throw my back out. All right, you guys. Nice talking to you. It's good to touch base. Hey, Redbone, Blue Skies. It's nice talking to you guys. Good to touch base. Have a place to come and be with you guys later.